Hello everyone, my name is Pink Yulia and welcome back to Adventure of a Lifetime. Emily made us lunch for our date and afterwards we were applying sunscreen to her back and legs. We didn't keep at all our composure and had many dirty thoughts about her side boob among other things. Emily then decided to apply sunscreen to us and we got hard. Wanting to avoid our boner from being seen, we ran into the water leaving a dumbfounded Emily on the beach. Let's see how she reacts to that. Emily simply watched as my figure disappeared into the surf. I really don't get guys. Oh my god, she doesn't even realize. I wonder how many girls don't realize. The sun slowly sank below the western horizon. Emily and I walked hand in hand across the beach. The sand dyed a brilliant orange in the evening light. After spending the whole day together, we'd finally run out of things to say. That wasn't necessarily why we were both so quiet. It was a comfortable silence. We didn't need a conversation topic to feel comfortable around one another. Emily paused by the edge of the water. As she watched the advancing waves wash back and forth over her bare feet, her expression grew melancholy. Well, what's wrong? Nothing. She kicked at the waves that came in. I really had a great time today. Me too. It was so much fun. I don't want it to end. Does that sound childish of me? I don't know, but it's a very Emily thing to say. Do you think I'm childish? She looked at me with a disappointed expression. Summer vacation's almost over. Then I'll have to leave you, and Chisa, and these islands. You've been sighing a lot lately. Is that what's been on your mind? She nodded silently. It's not like this is really the end, though. If we find that ring, I'm sure we can get your parents back together, then you can stay in Japan. Right. We would both have to go back home at the end of summer. But even if we were apart, at least we'd be in the same country. Your grandmama told me something while we were preparing lunch. She said love is the greatest adventure of all. So I wanted you to know, I love you, hero. She cast her eyes down, as if she was afraid of what might come next. She gently stroked her hair, and I gently stroked her hair and responded. I love you too, Emily. Wow, no hesitation on that. We are so good. We're so smooth. Hero. Emily. No. Emily suddenly backed away from me. Emily? Sorry, I didn't mean, well, it's just, like, how should I put this? I'm embarrassed. I'm so glad that we both feel the same, but it makes me think back on today and everything we've been through. You've done so much for me, and I've caused you so much trouble, and... While I was trying to think of something to say, she shuffled back to me, still avoiding eye contact, and took my hand. I gave her hand a reassuring squeeze and moved to stand in front of her. I brushed some of her hair aside, then looked down into her eyes. Ooh, are we gonna kiss her? I moved in close and pressed her lips to mine. Yes! Do we get a picture of us kissing, or do we just get this? It was my first kiss, but it felt so natural. I was doing it before I had a chance to worry about anything. Emily made no attempt to push me away. Her lips were so soft and warm. Who would have thought that such a simple thing would fill me up with so much happiness? The setting sun illuminated the world around us. Also, I just realized we're like fully clothed and she's in her bathing suit. With that, we should be in our bathing suit. Or she should be clothed. Hero. Emily. Just a little more? I started to move away, but Emily closed the distance between us again. Apart from the basic idea, I don't think either of us really knew what we were doing. It was a clumsy, immature kind of kiss. Aw, no artwork of it. That makes me sad. When we finally parted, Emily's blue eyes were damp with tears. That was some kiss, huh? Yeah, it was. You okay, Emily? I'm fine. That was a lovely kiss. And it was my first. Same here. No way. That was really good for your first time. It's true, though. Guess I was inspired to do my best for you. Emily blushed as she bashfully looked away. Although she was too shy to look at me, she squeezed my hand reassuringly. It's getting late. We should probably head back. Yeah, you're right. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. Yeah, me too. This is so embarrassing. I can't take it anymore. Emily? But wow, it's so hot. I'm gonna go grab something to drink. She rushed off toward the vending area. I don't think she's mad at me. I stood there thinking about how her lips felt against mine. I really don't get girls. I think it was fair to say that our date was a success. It was definitely a success. That makes more sense for this transition. So. Phew! Emily, her heavy equipment on her back, waded out of the shallows and onto the beach and set her cylinder down with a sigh. I followed suit. Welcome back, guys. How'd it go? I think I got some good shots of the interior. I held up my camera triumphantly. How about you, Emily? She'll be fine. Her natural buoyancy is even better than mine. This is nothing compared to ballet. Well, strong currents can come out of nowhere, so don't let your guard down when you approach the ship. I know. Emily pulled off the top half of her wetsuit, When I first met her, I couldn't have imagined I'd be seeing her in diving gear, but now I thought it suited her quite well. We should get this film developed as soon as we can, so how about we call it a day? Sounds good to me. We all started packing for the return trip. Yes, that's right, your engagement ring. Can you tell me where Papa put it last time you saw it? I just want you and Papa to remember how you felt back then, Mama. I know you still think of coming back to live with Papa, right? It's not ridiculous. And I know I can do this. And I know Papa still loves you. You still love him too, right? Emily had borrowed Chisa's smartphone to talk to her mother. Her own phone was out of commission since she tossed it into the ocean on the ferry coming over here. Incidentally, Emily had recently expressed regret in doing that, but it wasn't because life was less convenient without her phone. She would say, I can't believe I was so quick to pollute the beautiful ocean. She was really hard on her past self. Chisa and I didn't want to intrude, so we sat at the table and focused on the photos we had just developed. Okay, alright. Love you too, Mama. Emily hung up, looking dejected. Did she tell you? There was a desk in the cabin. The ring should be in the drawer on the right. All right, way to go. Chisa found a photo of the desk in one of the old pamphlets used when the ghost ship was still a commercial yacht. Did your mom say anything else? Not really. Just don't be stupid, you're wasting your time, that kind of thing. And she said she's coming back from America soon and that she'll drag me away with her if she has to. I won't let her, though. What about the photos? Anything useful? Yeah, they came out great. During today's trip, we managed to capture some details of the ship's interior through the hole in the hull. That's how it looks. It's narrower than I thought. I'm pretty sure we'll have enough space in this area, but past it, things might get tricky. This was our plan so far. Since we could only dive for a limited amount of time, processing all of the details around us under pressure wasn't easy. That was where the camera came in. We photographed everything we could, then reviewed the pictures so we'd have a better idea for the next dive. By using the camera on these little oh my god, I know what this word is, but for some reason my brain cannot say it. On these little reconnaissance, oh my god, I give up. Everyone knows what this word is, I know what this word is, but I'm stupid, so I can't say it right now. We hope to slowly work our way into the depths of the shipwreck. It wasn't much of a plan, but there was no harm in being cautious. Plus, it provided opportunities for me and Emily to improve our diving skills. We can finally go inside tomorrow. I hope we can make it as far as the cabin your parents were in. If we can, it'll all be over by this time tomorrow. Cheese had been focused on her smartphone since Emily had handed it back, but suddenly her face lost all color. No, this is terrible! What's terrible? I used one of those apps to call Mama, so your phone bill should be fine. No, that's not it. Take a look. She showed us her screen. Typhoon warning. Another one? What crap timing. I guess we have to call off the salvage until it passes. I guess so. That's not what I mean. Huh? What's the big deal? Typhoons blow over Ogasawara all the time. Chisa leaned forward on the table, her hands clutched in frustration. Do I have to spell it out? When the storm hits, the ghost ship will get blown away. What? I hadn't thought about that. When will the typhoon hit? 3 days from now. If we can't retrieve the ring by then, we could end up losing the ghost ship. The next morning. Our plan had been to give Emily time to get better at diving and to explore for as long as our limited time would allow. But the incoming typhoon meant we would have to kick things up a notch. This everything? Rio helped us pack our scuba gear into his outrigger. I think so. Thanks, Rio. Or Rio, whatever. Finally taking on the ghost ship, huh? Yeah, sooner than I'd hoped, but the typhoon forced our hand. Don't go too crazy, okay? I know. We'll be careful, especially in the scary deep ocean. You'll be fine. With all the practice you've had, you're definitely not a beginner anymore. Yeah, hard to believe you couldn't even swim not too long ago. Yeah, it is weird. Emily looked off into the distance. The moment I laid eyes on the waters around Ogasawara, I felt like I was finally at home. I am Emily, after all, the blessing of the sea. It's like my third home. The waves crashed gently against the sand. Ugh, please stop while you're ahead. I'm starting to wonder if we can really trust you down there. Come on, that's just how I feel, okay? Love and fear for the sea are two sides of the same coin. Aw, that looks like fun. Chinami had been standing at Ryo's side, watching us get ready. Why don't you come too? It'll be a wonderful adventure. No, thank you. Another 5 minutes in the sun and I will disintegrate into a pillar of salt. I'll take my leave of you here. Time to retreat to my air-conditioned sanctuary and dive into the World Wide Web. What a way to talk when you just showed up uninvited anyway. Hiro, Emily, do be careful out there. I'll entrust your safety to my simple, dear sister. Simple? Try calling me that again and I'll show you simple with my fist. Violence is the final refuge of the incompetent, dear sister. You are so going to get it one day. Do we have everything we need? We checked through our equipment one last time. Good to go. All okay here. Alright then, it's time to head out. See you guys later. We'll be back soon. Take care out there. I expect a share of the treasure as compensation for me coming out in this heat. Chinami's adorable. We took the canoe to Minimijima and got ready for our dive. We put on all our gear, then did the buddy check. Air okay, weight okay. We were used to this routine by now. Oh look, it's Finn. Finn watched us from the water, eager for someone to jump in and play with him. I'll be on standby if you need help. Just don't do anything reckless, okay? We decided to have Chizo wait in the canoe directly above us in case of an emergency. I know. If anything goes wrong, we'll come right back. If we stick to the plan, everything should be fine. Before going in, we went over the plan one last time. We'll go in through the hole in the hull. If we turn right, then we'll be in the corridor, so head to the third door on the right. That door will be our first real obstacle. If it opens, fine. If not... We could dive pretty well, but picking a lock or taking down a door was beyond our skill set. If that door didn't open, the whole plan would be over before it had begun. With any luck, the locks will have rusted away after all these years. When we get it open, Hiro will take pictures from the doorway. Seeing as today wouldn't be our last chance, any photos we took today would give us a chance to study the room if we didn't find the ring. Then Emily enters the cabin and opens the right drawer on the desk her mom described. I wonder if the desk is still intact. Keep calm if you don't find it right away. Stir up dirt and dust in that confined space and you won't be able to see a thing. Roger. No matter what happens, we won't panic. That would only make things worse. Emily and I nodded to one another. And we'll get out of there quick whether it goes well or not. After we exit the ghost ship, we'll follow our standard ascent procedure. Be careful not to snag your cylinders or regulators when you go in and out of the wreck. Cylinders and regulators. Right. Emily repeated the procedures and warnings to herself as diving in confined spaces required a lot more caution than usual. We wanted to avoid getting caught on anything at all costs. Those kinds of accidents could easily lead to panic and disorientation. I guess we should get going. Sure. And with that, I am out of time for this episode, but thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!